and this car pulled up, skidded. Doors both opened, yeah, and I thought, all right, yeah, this is it. It's been good though, man. We've had a good run.
Welcome to this video for QuickBooks Studios UK.
We're all creators, and because of that, we're business owners.
But that doesn't get spoken about enough. But James here is a businessman. Take it away.
Hello, gang. I'm James Sinclair. I'm a multiple business owner, and I've been an entrepreneur for a number of years. I'm going to ask these guys about the business of influence. So let's get into it. Guys, I really want to know, how much money do you make from being an influencer? We'll start with you, Bex.
I would like to start and say that I am terrible with money. Yeah, you could probably look at me and go, she's not very good with money.
Need is an accountancy software called QuickBooks.
Well, funny you should say that, actually. It's funny you should say that. Yeah. Oh, it can very fluctuate throughout the months.
It's a volatile career.
Political answer?
Yes, I will.
You.
No, it's a volatile career, and that's why you need to depend on multiple income streams.
More than a million? Less than a million?
Less than a million.
Harry?
All right, he's
going to tell the truth.
No, I make enough money to look after my family, look after myself, and manage my expectations.
How big's your family?
I have a small little family. Yeah, we're in the woods somewhere.
Just pets?
Yeah, literally just me, Alpha Romeo.
How hands-on are you in running your influencer business?
Oh,
very
good
hands-on.
Lord.
Yeah, I think Cons is more hands-on than probably all of us.
What do you mean by you actually making it, editing it?
My background's in video production, so I started off behind the camera, and somehow by accident I've ended up in front of it. But it's a great tool to try and promote and market yourself behind all these other businesses behind the camera.
When I'm making our business content, do you ever get sort of writer's block on what you need to make to get the audience to watch?
100%. There's always new trends that also get in the way of some of your passions. So there might be something that you deeply care about, but it's probably not the right time to work on this because there's a new trend that's way more popular to focus on. So you have to change your direction sometimes and adapt to it.
Obviously, you've been working behind the scenes, right? Now that you're in front of the camera, yeah, does it look as easy as it?
What, being in front of camera?
Yeah, being in front
It
of camera.
depends on your personality type, and I hate it.
Yeah, but you do well though.
I'm trying
really
to.
good.
It's part of my New Year's resolutions, right? Do things that make you feel uncomfortable.
But you don't seem to be uncomfortable.
I'm glad it's coming across the screen like that, Becky. I'm glad.
Just kidding. Imagine.
For me, I was hands-on before, but then in terms of even down to business and finances and everything else, you actually need someone else, especially if it's going to be bigger and it gets to a place where you can't physically and mentally control it. Then you start to employ people.
I think you have to rely on other people's strengths as well.
Yeah,
if you've got a family member that's, they want to be an accountant or they're good at this, maybe you can push them towards that direction. Be like, hey, help me out with sorting my thing out, and then we can all thrive together.
Do you employ your family?
I do, yeah.
My business is my sister and my best friend that I've known since I was 14. And
We are very different on that.
Really?
Oh, really? What's your view on that?
No friends and family. If they become friends after, then absolutely that's great. But no.
Is that big? Are you talking about scaling it to a massive?
No, from the very beginning, where I think you should, if you're going to employ friends and family in your organisation, it should be against other candidates to see if they are the very best person, and they shouldn't just get the salary or the money just because they're blood. They should be picked up against other people that
Often you can get them on a cheaper salary because they're family.
I agree with that to some extent, but for me, I think I've just looked at what I do as something that is very volatile, and it can literally be destroyed by people's alter egos and all that other stuff. And I know that I trust my sister.
You trust them, yeah.
And my best friend was essentially the reason why, I got hacked on Instagram at about 100K. And my manager worked at Island Records, which was a music label. And through them, they were the only way to get through to Instagram. Got that back. He was the one that sorted out my accounting. So he did things to me that I wasn't able to see because of the experience that he had. So it works in my favor, but I do understand where you're coming from. I wouldn't just give someone money just because
maybe having
we share the same surname. Do you know what I'm saying?
Maybe having a mentor that's close to you can be beneficial as well.
Yeah,
It's really good to get an outside perspective. If you just go to your regular circle, you just get the regular.
Question then, what about if, I don't know, if you lot's family, but you got a brother who is 100% or sister 100% brutally honest with you. You know that if you look like an absolute mess, he's gonna or she's gonna tell you. Yeah. Or if you've done something and you know you're in the wrong, but you want to hear it from someone else. What about if you've got that type of person in your family?
I think that's important, but I think if you've got good team members, and my team will tell me if something's good or not.
That's good.
Like not a yes man.
Yes, I hate. I can't
Yeah.
stand that.
When a team gets really good and they come in and then eventually become people you really love and trust, and the friendship is built that way, then that's when it really works in the best possible
I
way.
feel like my group, immediate friendship group, is who I work with, which sounds like it could be a nightmare. But we've been friends since we were like 15, and like they film all my videos, like they come out to every trip with me, and like it's just like a no-brainer because we know how each other work, and like when someone's pissing each other off or anything, pissing one off. God bless, pissing each other off.
Yeah,
you can
I
just
think-
go. Okay, instead of it just being like a stranger.
I think
or
when
someone
your
just employed.
job relies on like good vibes,
Yeah.
you need to
it's
build, you need to
different.
craft it yourself.
yeah.
That's like super personal. So it depends on the nature of your business. I
I
guess.
also hear what I'm saying. I've also met people through
hired
work.
family members.
Through work. No, just people that I've worked with
Oh, okay.
through work. I've been doing this for 7 years. These people have now become my closest friends because we share the same type of work ethic, the same type of sacrifice that we have as well, and we're doing essentially the same thing. And it's like,
Sacrifice is a good point you made there.
Yeah.
These businesses are very unusual. I think lots of people want to have fame and have influence because they probably see it as a fast way to make lots of money. But the actual reality is it can be like a footballer's career. You can have this massive, hockey stick approach to lots of income, and then it just dies off, or you lead to burnout. So you've got to be very careful that you're taking all that money that comes in and invest it wisely so you've got long-term wealth. From your point of view, what assets do you have outside of your personal brands that you've invested in?
I try to invest in things that have a good scope of profit. So it's businesses that are either startup businesses. I have friends that work in stock exchange that give me the run of what is going to be good. And I like to invest my money in watches as well. Luckily for me, I think, again, I'm good with managing money. That's something I've learned. Definitely wasn't the case in the beginning.
Did you learn through did you have a mistake?
Yeah, I think I didn't understand the notion of what a business account is. I thought it was just all mine.
That you could just spend, that it doesn't belong to you,
Yeah,
right?
it don't belong to me. And I learned the hard way, and then I was told through my accountant and obviously people to invest in businesses. And it's not just for short gain, it's for the long term as well. I didn't like seeing money in my account just staying there and not doing anything. I'd rather it work for itself.
Personally, when I see that, I feel like it's just doing nothing and it's like pointless. That I see the money there as an opportunity to do something cool and creative that I can focus my passion on. It's just like a
Reinvesting
tool.
into your videos as well. Like
Yeah.
reinvesting into content is the way.
I don't think people from the outside would realise how much needs to go in to make a video.
So
I think
much.
you just go on an iPhone and just make it, but there's
In the beginning, it's like that though, because I don't know about everyone else, but that's how I started. I started on an iPhone with nothing. But
Yeah.
then the bigger you get, the more people expect from you. And also as a person, you want to go to that
You want
next
to grow
level.
more and you want to try to do more ambitious projects.
Yeah.
Although I will say, I feel like now YouTube is getting more personable, where people are just filming on phones and stuff, which
gone
is
back the
funny because
other
it's going
way.
back to
Yeah.
what it was before.
But you guys are really established. How many people in your team to make your content? Let's start with you, Becky.
It is just me, but then I have an editor, but then when he sends it back, I'll re-edit it because I'm really picky. So I'm I need an editor because
You're
the
very
time's
hands-on.
Yeah, really bad for it. I can't post something without watching it on every platform and making sure everything's perfect. I think it's just because I've always done it since I was in school. I feel scary to give it to someone else. So when I get it back, I'm right, let me just tweak it, which it doesn't need to because it's fine. The videos are fine. But I've got an editor and then these 3 guys who just switch around to film whenever I need them. And that's about it. I think there's probably just 4 of us.
I have about 4 to 5 people on my team. It's a mixture of 2 editors and 2 people that work on the production side.
Working full time,
Yes.
just on your videos.
Yes.
So I think people will be really shocked to hear that. Well, what about you?
Maybe about 5 editors. I have
Full time just for you?
full time, yeah. Because I have different projects. So I have a football podcast, then I have a comedy kind of podcast as
I
well.
mean, these guys watching this will be just thinking, I reckon Harry just makes a video.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, there's a team, isn't
no,
there?
and then I get even now, I've been responding to edits just to make sure that take this out, put this back in, or so there's constant changing and stuff. And then like I said, I have a manager and I've got a PA. So the team is quite big, and then you work with agencies and stuff, and so it's massive team. It's not as easy as it looks, but you pick a team that are gonna look out for you.
I've got two massive things at the tip of my tongue that I want to talk about. How long have you all been doing it? And how long did it take for you to get a nice chunky amount of money? And can you remember what that amount of money was when it hit your bank account, when you thought, oh yeah, baby?
Oh yeah, so I started 7 years now.
7 years?
10 years.
I was in year 10, so work that out. I don't know what that is. I'm 27 now. 27.
So yeah, 10. That's
What's that?
11,
I think it was like 13 years
13 years ago. Yeah.
So before
You started uploading.
Yeah, I was uploading every day. in
Oh,
school.
I've been uploading since I was in school as well.
Oh, what do you say when
Yeah.
when it started?
Yeah,
probably?
my
Okay,
passion was
yeah.
like, you know how kids sell sweets in school?
Yeah.
I would repair the PSP consoles. So if
Oh.
someone smashed a screen, I'd take it in for 20 quid, I'd go repair it, but I'd also film it and I'd share it on the other forums of how I did the repair. So if you think about that, I've been uploading for
Yeah.
like 20 years.
Yeah.
What about you, Harry? You said
Yeah, 7 years. So essentially, the person that I am, I've been this way since I was in school. So I was always like a troublemaker and someone that was like a class clown.
really?
But back when I was in
Never
school,
would have guessed that.
yeah, I know it's surprising. It's really, really surprising. I don't blame you. But then there wasn't no.
You harnessed that personality. And
Yeah, so I said,
Monetized on it.
I always felt like I can only focus on something that I care about,
Mm.
right? I'm not someone that is going to do something for the sake of pleasing anyone, whether it's my parents or anyone else. I need to love it. And drama was something that I really enjoyed in school. And I literally loved my teacher, Miss Heathcote. I'll never forget her because she really understood how to get the best out of students that probably found it difficult to focus on other things. But we didn't have YouTube then,
No.
or YouTubers weren't a thing. YouTube was out, but it wasn't something that we thought we could ever have access to.
So when you focus, you can hyper focus on.
I literally am locked in. Like there isn't no getting through to me. So 7 years, and I remember the first money I made. Yeah, I did this campaign with TikTok, right? And it was for £1,000. And I can't lie, they took like 3 months to pay me, and I've never refreshed my bank account.
What dance did you have to do?
It wasn't even that. It was the most easiest thing ever. It was just telling people to sign up to TikTok.
Okay.
And now I think about it, yeah, had I have like proper uploaded on TikTok, I probably would have been one of the biggest TikTok stars.
Honestly.
And anyway, but
Yeah.
things happen for a reason. When that money landed in my account, yeah, and I looked at the contract, it said £1,000, but £800 is yours, £200 was tax. And I was like, who's tax?
What advice would you give someone for their first brand deal?
Oh, that's a good question. I think understand the brief and allow yourself to have creative control, because it needs to, like I say, bode well with who you are as a content creator. If you are known for energetic videos, but then the brand wants you to be monotone but it's good money, I don't think it's worth it, because the engagement will be bad and you just probably won't get no work after. I think what Cons was saying is it's all about literally just making sure you know your audience and working towards that. So that's what my advice
Yeah,
would be.
I'd say be passionate for collabing with that brand to the point where your audience is so happy for you that you've made it. They're like, wow, congrats on you for getting the brand deal.
Oh, I get that.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
good.
Get
They're
that
like
bag.
really proud of you. As
I
an
think if you
audience.
do a good job as well, like the brand will work with you again and then again and again. And by the end, like you said, like those ambassadorships and things, they come around.
And that's
and
why
you
with
go,
QuickBooks, when they do the ambassador program, I would love to be there because I just feel like this just works.
Well, this is it.
Yeah.
This is it. You like that one?
Sorry, James. Got a son.
Sorry.
He's 4.
Was there a specific moment
He's 4. He's 4 years old, man.
Was there a specific moment that you thought, yes, I've made it on YouTube, that put you on the map?
It's been a lot of good moments, I'll be honest.
Yeah, man.
No, I think it was when I first started working with Foot Asylum and I saw like money that could potentially like pay for my rent and then also pay for like helping my family as well. And I still had money for myself.
Wow.
That's when I was like, yeah, okay, I'm
What about you
doing
guys?
I remember there was a very popular tech app that was giving out deals to a lot of YouTubers at the time. Yes, and they were offering a really crazy CPM. It was $100 CPM, and that cost per mile, and mile was 1,000 views. So per 1,000 views, they're offering $100. and they would cap it off at 1 million views. I remember my video getting over 500,000 views. So do the maths for that. And that was a really nice
Bloody
chunk just to see in your account one day.
Yeah.
I used that, something like that, to then actually use that money for a house deposit. So
Well, that's what I was going to say. What assets you've been? So you've invested into property, but let's find Becky. What can you remember that moment when you got a big?
Yeah, do you know what? I feel like you're probably the same. That when we first started, it wasn't a thing that you couldn't make money from YouTube, and I think that's why we've all carried on, because at the time it wasn't even a job. So like we actually wanted to do it. Like we were passionate about it. There wasn't a chance we were going to make money.
I'm going to be controversial. I'll say I knew it was about money.
Really?
And I knew I had an opportunity in front of me.
Oh, wow,
So I
okay.
was filming for a lot of big YouTubers. So I was
Course, yeah.
exposed to the amount of deals going on the side, the revenue coming through. And I was like, you know what? If I can get 1% of that, we are good.
Cooking.
Yeah, we are
Yeah.
good. So for me, I think the enlightenment, being shown to what's possible, made me rechange my whole game plan.
Becky, you didn't answer the question.
I
You
know. I'm
remember?
sorry. No,
You
it's
keep
fine. It's fine.
skirting around, and
I
we
just,
want to know.
do you know what it was? It's because I blew up in a way that was like, I was working in a bar one day back home, and then it blew up. So I moved to London within like 2 days, and I was like, this is crazy. Because one of my friends at the time like offered me to just move in with them. I was like, great.
You remember the amount and just seeing it in your bank account?
Yeah. Well, they paid half up front just to like make sure that you went into this like house. It was like Big Brother sort of thing.
Yeah.
And when that first came through, I was like, oh God. In fact, the first thing I got offered was
How much was it? Come on, we all want to know.
well,
Was it more than 50,000?
no, less. Yeah.
But
a lot
how old
less.
was you when you got that?
I was 21.
And it was
20.
like the most.
Yeah,
money
oh my
you'd
God,
ever-
yeah, like ridiculous. But I remember there was a 20 grand deal that came through, and I had to say no to it because it was the first thing I ever got was an MMA fight, right? They were like, we want you to fight another female creator. And I said, I rang my dad and he was like, come home, Beck, you've got to come home. You can't be fighting. And I went, right, okay. So I had to turn that down. But I
love
was
how
all
you
for
go-
it. I was
you go
like,
more Welsh when you do your dad.
my dad is very Welsh. Yeah, bless him, Andrew. God
That's
God
good.
love-
Lots of people watching will be thinking about influence and the business of influence. What's your favourite platform as an influencer?
YouTube.
I'd say mine's always been YouTube.
I
Yeah.
think mine's always been QuickBooks.
And why?
Last one, promise.
Now, do you know I say YouTube because it was like my first passion. I was obsessed. I still am. Like I just
It was
feel like
the
it's
first
just
place I went to absorb any type of content.
Yeah.
That
about yours,
connected
Aaron?
with me.
YouTube for sure, but Instagram, I feel like that was where my career blossomed and took off.
But I mean, YouTube is, I love YouTube. I make lots of content on YouTube and I've got reasons why I love it. I think it's the best audience. I think people watch it for the longest time. The people that comment on it are much more thoughtful in my experience compared to other platforms. You know, why do you think YouTube is your favourite platform over the others?
I think you get to
It was like one of the first platforms where I made a connection with my audience.
Yeah.
And then they all transferred to the other platforms to like sort of
support you.
support you.
Much more loyal of follow-up.
So
Yeah.
loyal. Yeah, like you've got people who watched you when you first started and they're still watching now. Like they're first to comment on everything. And
This is
crazy.
fascinating. We've worked out that it's an average of 45 minutes per YouTube session via 40 seconds on Instagram, you know, going up and up. And people are going to YouTube and committing time.
yeah.
That's why.
Well, it's like TikTok, you just get given the video. Like you can't
There's already an
subscribe and
algorithm that's like fed to you based on what it thinks you like.
Yeah.
Also, with YouTube, it's a consistency is what breeds a level of support, because if you are known every Friday to drop a video, right, somebody in this world is expecting that video, whether or not it's the dinner they're waiting to have to watch that video, or you know, we've all got videos saying, oh, that video changed my life, or thank you for, you know what I mean? So we have this following that I don't think you could get from anywhere else, which is something that's very beautiful.
One of the things I've learned making my content on YouTube is like trying to get people to follow on at home, even in a business and entrepreneurship audience, like how much do you think that's going to cost? I'll give you the answer to that at the end. I've also done things like, well, what do you think about this business? Let me know in the comments. And then also what I call proprietary language, little sayings and isms that I use about myself. Do you guys use any of that?
I think we got
Catchphrases.
catchphrases.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah,
mean.
so it's so crazy because I'll say something so stupid and I'll see someone
They'll
out
say it.
and they'll say it. And I'm like, I've forgotten that I've just said it.
Yeah.
So
And then you'll become known as that guy who
that
says that
person
thing.
says that. So it's like, you know, for example, my name's Harry Pinero, right? So the HP, for the first time I ever did an intro, I said, yo, it's your boy Harry Pinero, HP, like the sauce, like HP sauce, right? That has stuck with me, and I'm really trying to get that removed because I just said it as a joke, and it's now become a thing where I have to now embody that because it's part of what people remember.
That is what you call proprietary language.
Yeah.
So doctors use it, accountants use it, but you've done it with your audience, and it makes them tribal to you.
Random people be like, yo, HP like the sauce. I'm like, that's me, man. That is me.
You embraced it, right?
No,
for a
of course,
while.
of course.
And
Did
then,
you do that on purpose with more stuff now because you know people like it?
Yeah, because I think it's a catchphrase. It's something that is associated with me. Even like people that may never have even watched my video will know what that means. And I think that's the power of having a catchphrase. And
I think that leads to more opportunities. Like you can brand it. That could become your brand.
yeah, of course, of course.
So obviously you get money for views, but also brand deals are a big part of this business. Do you guys work hard on getting those brand deals, and how important is it to your business?
I'd say they're very important for my business personally. Do I work hard at getting them? No clue, because I actually rely on a team whose full-time job it is to source those. So when a correct or right opportunity does come by, it will get presented to me, and then we have the option of accepting it or not working with the brand. So
Yeah, I think it's a balance between having original organic content, but then also having brand work that doesn't take away from who you are as a content creator. I think your followers will see that, oh yeah, he's literally doing this for money. Whereas if you can marry really well with the brand, it doesn't look like that. It looks like a collaboration more than anything. But I do think brand awareness is really, really good for a content creator because it gives you a different audience. And it also shows other brands that this guy is very marketable, this person is very marketable, which obviously is profitable as well and down the line as well. And it can lead to you being an ambassador, which is actually now, say you become an ambassador for a year, for that 12 months, you are guaranteed a certain amount of money, which I think is key on top of what you do with content. So I think it's important.
What about you, Bex?
It's with management as well. Like, I feel like that's where I get my brand deals from. They'll just message me and be like, oh, we've got this coming up. Have you got anything you could slot it into? Like, for example, I just went away and did like loads of videos in America, and we were like reaching out to brands being like, I'm going to the Super Bowl. Do you want to take your brand to the Super Bowl? And people were like, yeah, of course we do. So now I just took loads of stuff
So you're
out
actually
with me.
proactively approaching brands.
Yeah, which you can do as well, but people do approach you. But if there's something where you think, oh, it's a travel video, you got like your VPN services, you got your travel companies, all sorts that would just be like, oh, it makes sense. And also the viewer won't even sometimes know it's an ad because it flows so well.
if you can integrate something into your video or workflow, it's the best way to go about partnerships like that.
I feel like if brands also give you like room to breathe with it as well, they're
Creative
like
flexibility.
they're like use your own voice. That's when it works better for them and works better for us.
I worked with a major credit card company making some videos for them, and they was very restrictive on us.
Oh, really?
What other ways are you monetizing your influencer business? So you got brand deals, you get, I suppose, royalties from the platforms if you get so many views. What other ways do you make money?
There is other streaming sites that you can do. So we stream a lot, which helps. But then also there's like a platform where it is a subscriber only platform, which means that you can give them exclusive content, which nobody has, and you can only watch it on said platform.
What percentage of your business is that, would you say?
So I would say, for example, for the podcast, if we was to get 5% or even 10% of people subscribing to that, and we set a fee in a month that is a guaranteed additional income, which I think in the back end does really, really well, and helps pay for certain things that we wouldn't need to do. So then it allows what else we're doing to just be considered as profit, which is really good.
So you're trying to get regular residual income to pay all your exes,
so that all the ideas that we could do,
to build teams as well.
So I can now rely on extra additional work, as what Con's saying, if I then do a bit more extra work, but it just has to make money. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's also important to understand that the brand deals don't just, the money doesn't just all go into our pockets. We have teams that we then use that to distribute across different projects or to make things possible, to make our own
Pays
content.
for the video you see the ad in.
Sometimes,
Sometimes
yeah,
it just
unfortunately,
pays
yeah,
for that
yeah.
video and that's it. So it just comes in and goes straight back out. Like that happens a lot.
What about any of you doing live events? I mean, I do lots of seminars and theatre shows. I make more money from that.
I've actually been presented with a couple of opportunities to do like masterclasses on like my career, and like I'm really good at editing, so they want me to speak about my top 5 editing tricks, and like I'd be so game to do that, to speak to a big crowd and show them some of like my secrets. Like, sure.
What's the craziest, memorable, or weirdest interaction you've had with a fan that watches your content?
Do you know what I hate the most, yeah? Okay, look, I don't class myself as a celebrity, and I mean that on God's earth,
You're a
yeah?
celeb
Well, I
to me.
think you are.
No, no, thank you, James. I mean, but no, jokes aside, so like, it's when people see me and they're like, I swear I know you.
Oh, yes.
And I'm like, yeah, I mean, I do YouTube, and they're like, what, Harry? And I'm like, yeah, it's Harry.
You've got to explain yourself.
Would you prefer they just said, "Oh, Harry, how are
Just
you?"
I'm a normal person, brother. You ain't got to do the whole acting cool to make it seem as if, it just randomly came to my mind. He goes, then they'll be like, yeah, I was watching your video yesterday. So if that's the case, you've been watching my video yesterday, but you just forgot my face. I hate that stuff. I'd rather you not say nothing.
I think it's just an icebreaker, innit?
Yeah, it's
But
hard
do
to
you
approach
get do you
someone.
get random people coming up to
I
you?
get it. I get the most wholesome interactions, and I feel like that's because of the type of content I put out,
Yeah, absolutely.
where I specialize in a specific subject. People that are interested in it, they'll come up and they'll say, "Wow, like you really taught me this thing or that, and like that was really cool, and it's helped me progress to this career, or it's helped me understand the path I want to go." So like, I have some really cool wholesome interactions.
So basically, you're a celeb, and that's what
No,
we
no,
like
I'm
to
not a
hear,
celeb,
brother.
no.
Like,
And
own it, man. Own
what's
it,
a
cons.
celeb though?
I'd
What's a
say hello
celeb?
to you if I saw you.
No, I'm normal. No, I'm fine.
Well, I think that's what makes it mad is like you feel like you're not talking to anyone because it's just a camera, and then suddenly someone will shout like Bex in the street, and I'm like, and I'm like, did I go to school with them, or do I know this? But like, what is happening? Like, and sometimes people will just talk to you because they feel like they know you. I love that because I can talk.
I remember that.
Oh, I was walking with my mum, and then someone just started chatting to me because they recognised me, and I was just talking to them as if I've known them forever.
Yeah.
Mum was like,
Who's that?
who's that? I was like, I don't know, they just come chat to me. And she was like, huh?
That happened to me back home in Sierra Leone, yeah. So me and my dad was going to this local like grocery, right? And then we went and got the stuff, walking back to the house, and then this car pulled up, skidded.
You thought
Two people, doors both opened, yeah. And I thought, all right, this is it. It's been good though, man. We've had a good run. And it was a man and his wife. And he was like, please, like, can I take a picture of you? So I took a picture now. And obviously, this is my dad. We're in Sierra Leone. This is across like, a different place, right? Anyway, taking a picture. And then me and my dad are walking back. And he's going, wow, you're a superstar, ain't you? And then he called my mum and he was like, you know your son, he's a superstar.
Wait, he called your mum to say, your son.
Your son, yeah, like this is what my mum did. Your son's a superstar. But I think for me, that's a beautiful thing because I guess for all of us, or most of us anyway, when you're starting and you're telling your parents, I'm going to quit my job and do YouTube, they're thinking, wow, what the hell?
Did you quit a job to do?
Yeah.
What did you do?
I was working at a startup company in Northwest London, and it was similar to like a delivery food company, basically. It was a startup. And I was doing all of the, because I was pretty good with computers when I was younger as well. So I was doing all the analytics and just making sure that drivers got to where they
How
need
old are you now, Harry?
34. Well, I'm going to be 34 in 2 months.
You've only been in YouTube for 7 years.
Yeah. So I'm a late bloomer. Yeah. That's why the hairline's disappearing, brother. You know what I mean? It's not funny. I don't know why everyone's laughing.
If you're making content, how do you come up with your ideas to make content? And what do you think sparks your imagination? This is going to be a hit.
Copy someone else's idea. Yeah.
We're all thieves, I'll be honest.
Do you take a lot of influence from
course.
Everything is a remix. I'd say you take something, especially with YouTube, that's so like based on algorithms, you kind of have to take what works at that time and adapt it to your own style.
Yeah.
There's a quote, yeah.
Go on, Gandhi.
Yes, you know me, I'm a good quotesman. And it's basically essentially saying that the origin of everything has always been taken from something else. Yeah. So we look at cars, the a car now, a beautiful car now. Before that, there was another car. And there is always something that someone has been inspired of. And I feel like as content creators, that you shouldn't feel any way to copy from what someone has done, but you've got to make it your own way. And we're lucky, like we all work with amazing people that have obviously probably started doing a video and we just gone, you know, can I take that? And someone like, yeah, take it, it's fine. Like we work in that kind of
I think
environment.
you make a big point there. How important is it for you guys to network with other influencers and mastermind together?
I think it's amazing. Luckily for
You
us.
do that?
Yeah, all the time.
I think this is the one place that I've been in where we all work together. Like everyone is a fan of someone or everyone is inspired by someone. I don't think it's like that probably in the business that you're in. It's kind of like everyone's at each other's necks. Whereas even if they are at each other's necks, it's quite behind closed
It'll make
doors.
for some good drama.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. Distracts.
Yeah.
It's also like why I moved to London, because it's like I get a message being like, can you jump in this video tomorrow? And I'm like, well, yes, of course. And then it's favours, isn't it? You'll do a favour back for someone else. And yeah, it works. It does work.
How do you diversify your income streams?
It's an easy one. I'm in production, so I've got a synergy of things. Like I like cameras, so I'd invest in cameras that can go out on rent. I've got my own studio space, so that can go out on rent. People can come and shoot there. It's just like little branches off of little ideas that just become like businesses on their own.
You said you invested in others.
Yeah, but also I have like a stream. I've got an office in my house where I stream and I record videos. So I've invested in that, which will obviously bring back money as well. And like I said before, like I've got different streams of income with content as well and things outside of just work in general. So I'm always just trying to find a little way to just make something, you know, whilst I'm sleeping.
Becky, what about you outside of YouTube?
Okay, outside of YouTube. I think it was a point that back to what we were just on there was that collaborating with people. You came to my flat to make a video setting up my Twitch stream setup, which I then used to then make money. So it's like a whole, like, it's just like helping each other. But yeah, it's just different streams of income.
Are there any influencers or creators that you'd like to work with that you haven't yet?
Yes.
Yeah.
Lionel Messi. Yeah, he's an up and coming creator. Hasn't done much.
No.
Doesn't say much either. But I think I could help him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what? When I first did a Sidemen video, I was like, I couldn't believe it. Because I was like, what, 20? I think that's when I first met you. And I was absolutely terrified. Didn't sleep the night before.
Was that when we did the roast?
No, it was the Tinder, Sidemen. No, Dragon's Den. Sidemen, Dragon's Den. Yeah, and it was just like, I was like, I've watched these guys for so long. And I'm stood in front of them just acting a fool. And there I was.
Dressed as a pint.
Yeah, acting a fool.
What about you, Con? Anyone that you want to work with?
Oh, whatever natural collaborations that come through. I can't name anyone specific right now. No.
Do you ever get burnout from creating?
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah.
100%.
It's horrible. You feel like, oh, well, this is it then. I'll never make another video. That's it for me.
And lack of sleep's a huge thing. I think also, because I've got a 4-year-old as well, balancing being a father and also being like hands-on with work is very difficult. But I mean, weekends where you literally lay in bed are some of the greatest days, generally.
Do you ever get anxiety that you haven't put a video out or that you haven't got it done? Does that?
100%. I think if your whole business model also depends on you constantly uploading, then that will naturally give you anxiety. If you haven't uploaded, it means you're not eating.
Did you see that interview with Mr. Beast where he was like, if I had good mental health, I wouldn't be successful? And I was like, that is an insane statement.
He pulls off some risky things.
Yeah, well, he's got so much pressure on himself all the time. And I think if you didn't feel anxious, it's because you didn't care about the videos and stuff. So I think because we do care, we're like, oh, I need to, you put something out and then it's like, oh, right, next. And it's just constant, what's next, what's next.
Like, you know when a video's done well, and when it hasn't done well, it's like, oh, okay, we got to go back to the drawing board again. And I think that is what is, sorry.
It's a sore subject.
I'm like, right now as this interview's going on, I've got a video that I've uploaded and it's like the lowest of the low ever that it's been. Yeah. So, I don't know.
And you thought it was a good one?
Yeah.
Yeah, haven't you? No, that's happened to us, you know, when making it. You think something's really good and then it tanks and then You think it's a poor effort, it goes, you know.
And what's bad as well is it tells you exactly how
this
it's
is
doing.
hard.
compared
The
to
wording on YouTube is like, not many people are liking it.
poor effort,
And then
mate.
you know what it is? You see the graph going.
And you go, what? I literally spent weeks on that. Yeah, it's hell. It is hell.
What you're talking about there, guys, I don't think people will realise just how much back-end data goes behind this stuff that you
We
have to
see everything
follow
now.
to make sure it's a commercially profitable business.
Yeah.
Do you feel that over the next 10 years that your business is going to be as strong today as it is now in 10 years' time, and that you see it growing or stabilising? What's your views for the next 10 years?
Well, over a decade, that's a long period of time. I think you need to kind of go with the flow and adapt. You can't keep with the same business model. If it's not working, you have to change it and adapt to the times. And then that's how you build something that will just sustain decades.
Fingers crossed. That's the goal. Is to keep it going. We'll keep it going. But what I will say is, I feel like YouTube, TikTok is taking over TV and like mainstream stuff. Like because kids are watching YouTube more than telly at the minute. So I feel like if that keeps going, it's just going to get
Or
bigger.
the grumpy grown-ups as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dad
true.
loves the pyramids on YouTube.
There we go. It's happening.
There's actually a statistic.
Did you?
Yep, statistic.
You're a lion.
That more YouTube videos are being watched on TVs and on smartphones and tablets.
That's true.
I think it's obviously evolving, as we've Cons alluded to. It's changing, so you're finding different ways to obviously make money. But I think it still will be here, especially collaborating with brands, and a lot of people have a lot of influence. So using that until it's
Definitely see the streaming platforms are looking more and more like YouTube, and YouTube's trying to look more and more like the streamers.
everyone's influenced by the influence.
Also, everyone on telly wants to come onto YouTube, and I feel like all the YouTubers want to be like, oh, we want to be on telly. So it's like it's
Well, it's interesting that. Would you, if you got offered a TV deal to go on one of those old-fashioned media types, would you consider it?
I literally yesterday I was on Blankety Blank.
Would you?
Yeah, with Bradley Walsh. I think as a obviously, as much as I am a content creator, YouTuber, I want to be a presenter, and I'm inspired by what I saw as a young boy watching these TV shows, and I try to adopt that within my YouTube presenting skills. So it's something that I think if you can marry both of them, you've got longevity for sure.
Do you think people see you more official when you've done some of the old school media?
Yeah, I think it depends on what the audience is. I think if you're looking at an audience that are like over 30, then yeah, maybe. But the younger generation kind of want what they want, which is the funny YouTube videos, entertaining, engaging videos. Whereas, you know, the older lot kind of want to sit, you know, in their sofas that haven't changed in 60 years. This has been a Business of Influencers, and if you've liked this video, you know what to do. Like, comment, and subscribe, and click that notification bell so you're notified when QuickBooks Studios UK upload. Peace.
come on. Tell 'em.